It's Katie Clancy, Chief House Talker at the Cape House at William Ravis, and you are watching the Cape House Show, where we give you the tips, tools, and sense of humor you're going to need to get through the biggest transaction of your life. Okay, today we're going to talk about Havetas and Wanas. Now, if you're one of my children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So Havetas are things that you have to do, and Wanas are things that you want to do. And the way we use it in our house is you got to do your Havetas, and then you got to do your Wanas, but that's a whole other conversation. Today we're talking about real estate. There's nothing worse than arguing at negotiation, than arguing whether or not the price of a house should be less because the buyer wants to remodel. Now, has to remodel, wants to remodel, what is the deal? We get into this big he said, she said, which is completely emotional, and there's always a winner and a loser. When really in negotiation, there should be two winners. And if you can stay logical about it as much as possible, you're more likely to have winners. So here's how I think you should handle that. Sellers, when you put your house on the market, find the house that's in your neighborhood that is the nicest version of yours. What has it got? What's different about it compared to yours? How much is it worth? Take the value of that house and then subtract from it the costs for bringing your house up to that level. That is a reasonable place to price your house. Now you've already accommodated anything that people might want to do to bring it up to the loveliness of some other house there, rather than trying to start right off at that top number, and people are going to beat you up over it, and it's not that fun, let me tell you. By the same token, buyers, chances are, no matter how lovely a property is, you're going to do some sort of remodeling, right? You do something. So do not beat up your seller over the cost of paint, okay? Everybody pretty much paints their new house. Do not beat up your seller over the cost of a countertop that's actually up to snuff. It's just not your color, okay? And do not beat your seller up over like landscaping that is in keeping with the neighborhood, looks great. It's just not your taste. Those things are really your money to spend. What I recommend people doing when they're going in to buy a house, and because the concern is, and I understand this, buyers, is that you're worried about getting over your head. You're worrying about getting underwater on the house, that you pay X number of dollars and you put Y more dollars in, and now you are like underwater. You've spent more money than the house is worth. Totally understandable. Here's a little tip. For primary homeowners, that actually is very common for people to spend a little bit more. I'm not suggesting you get to an unsafe place, but I tell people that you should feel comfortable in your primary residence. This isn't for second homes. For primary residence to go up to about 10% over what you think the top value is on that house in terms of your spending. I know it sounds crazy, but it's what people do, and they do it safely all the time. You go for your comfort level, but here's the thing. You are going to, the idea is that in your primary, you're going to be there long enough to see it appreciate and get your money's worth out of that. Not to mention, hello, why did you do it in the first place? For your comfort, your enjoyment, and your happiness. All right, if you have any more questions about how to price a house, how to negotiate, what to expect, come see us at thecapehouseteam.com.